another quick video, hopefully. I'm not going to edit this one, just want to see what YouTube does with this file type. So this is kind of unusual. It's in a 9 by 16 format, but the file isn't big enough to be HD. I mean, you know, at least the ones saved on the thing. There's no way it can't be HD. The file's just not big enough. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, this is the camera. You know, I had actually there should have been 3 camera views in the last video. This one, but yeah, the battery went dead when I had it hooked up to the USB because I didn't download the video off the camera. I put it in the editing software in the camera, so I left it hooked up to the. Well, anyway, the battery went dead because it doesn't recharge. So that's a little bit of a problem. But anyway, doesn't really matter. Anyway, just doing a test video. But I wanted to talk about this whole God thing. And really, maybe we just start to change the language and just talk about, you know, TJ did some video, what is God? And then Conference Report did a response to that. He made some effort to recontextualize the word into some sort of bullshit like, oh, consciousness is God, blah, 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 blah. And I think what we ought to just say is that everybody has a delusion. Not everybody, I don't, of course. Yeah, so that's it. So the thing to figure out is, you know, I also put some chrome on there, so you can see that. Yeah, see, so I can now hopefully tell when the camera's pointed in the right direction. I should, you know, be able to tell. So that should be me over on one side. That's probably how I'll make videos. It's me on one side, and then I can put video on the other side, and that me on the other side. That should be me in the center, hopefully. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so yeah, it should just be, you know, instead of religion, we ought to just call it delusion. And we just sort of figure out, you know, everybody's just picking a delusion, you know, and they'll pick a delusion that has a large social club, or a delusion that doesn't have a large social club. But it's just about delusions. It's not about any devotion. What the only God there should be is the truth. That should be the God for everybody. Everybody should be devoted and should honor and should respect the truth and the way you get to the truth, which is logic. Being rational. Not faith, not bullshit, just rational thinking. And when you don't know the answer, you say you don't know the answer, but when the answer is quite obvious, then you accept it. When the proof is in, you convict. You know, if the glove doesn't fit, it doesn't fucking matter because the glove is fucking dried out. It's been fucking experimented on, and of course it doesn't fit. But that's a whole different subject. But anyway, the glove of DNA fits. The glove of billions of years of evolution fits. This game is over. We know what we are. And all these people just have delusions running from it. So for TJ to make a video arguing that God is just people's delusions and just their, not delusions so much, but just their wishes and hopes and their bigotries and their ego, he's guilty of the same thing. So what's the difference? Oh, but he doesn't call his God. That's right. He's an atheist. So he doesn't call his delusion God. Well, who cares? His delusion is just as useless to the human race. It's just as morally bankrupt, ethically bankrupt. I mean, he keeps talking about the rights of homosexuals, and yet he laughs. He mocks the suffering of animals. So what logic do you apply? What truth is there in the world? What science would indicate any reason to believe you have that there's no consequence to consuming other sentient organisms, that they're not actually sentient, that they actually don't feel, that their welfare doesn't matter, and that somehow a homosexual's desire to marry is so much more fucking important, you know, than an animal's need not to be injected with radioactive chemicals and caused intense and horrible suffering. I mean, what? I mean, you know. So what? What's worse, the God delusion or the selfish motherfucking fat pig delusion? What the fuck should I as a rational person, which one should I find more offensive or scary? A big, giant, selfish motherfucker, or a deluded yet sensitive and generally harmless member of a social club, delusion, a social delusion club, that might even admit that they need something to support them through their life, because life is scary and they need something. So whatever, which one should be more scary? Well, I think the fat, selfish, greedy, motherfucking, hedonist pig is a lot scarier than the silly little god. Delusion. The delusion that you're better than the animals, that your welfare is more important than somebody else's welfare because you're a YouTube celebrity, or some other bullshit rationalization that somehow you're more important than the people in Tibet, or the people in Bangladesh, or the people in most of China. Yeah, somehow your welfare is more important than theirs. Your ability to earn $25 an hour is more important than their ability to get their hands sewn back on after they got cut off making your 10-cent wheel nuts or something. So whatever. So fuck this stupid conversation. Any conversation should be about what's the fucking truth. Not how to veil your psychobabble and your perception of the vast importance and significance of the fact that you contemplated the spherical perfection of, well, I was going to say something. Never mind. But anyway, screw that. It's not that magnificent. You're just all a little bit impressed with yourselves. Even there's beautiful things in the world, okay? Here's my little, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to have my little books right here, my 4 or 5 books that I'll actually try to read. My Schopenhauer and my Tesla and such. And I got Einstein down there at the bottom. Einstein, yeah. I gotta read. That's a big, fat, thick one. I gotta read that one. And a little statue and such. And then I got my little videos playing with the women's and such. So life is good. So that's just an emotional thing. That's just a little sentient creature having a little horniness for something. A little candy, a little sweet tooth, whatever you want to call that. That's what makes that mean something. Okay? But that doesn't mean it means something in the scheme of things as a philosophical reality. The fact that I get attracted to things, or that I get a sense of awe, really shouldn't impress the hell out of us. We should recognize that it's really neat when when you can have a feeling like that. That's really good. It's a lot better than having your foot cut off. A lot better. But yeah, it doesn't define reality, and it doesn't make reality, and it doesn't philosophically it doesn't do much to fix the equation. I got a bunch of fruit flies in here. I left some apple peels and such, and beside compost, and I left them in the house too long. Fruit flies everywhere. Anyway, that's your problem. So anyway, this is just a test video, so no point in going too long. So anyway, this is a weird camera though. So anyway, like I said, it was one of these store cameras, I guess. I guess you take them out of the store and you video stuff, and you take it back to the store and they sell you your own video. But you don't have to buy the camera. I guess that's what it was from. But it had no battery in it either. I had to put a battery in and then rewire it. But it doesn't seem to work. But it has a good file format. I like the file format. It's interesting. But we'll see. I don't know. I don't know nothing about it. So learning curve and such. So test of a Flip Minnow. It does say HD on the back. Well, I got a different back on this one now, so it doesn't say that anymore, but it is the HD format. 9 by 16. Anyway, so till next time. But it's just weird. So see what YouTube does to it. See if it makes it in HD, then we'll know it's HD. I don't think it is. So anyway, till next time.